guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be checking out a video today, and this one is titled Trump versus Trump. This is the United States of America, all right? Donald Trump proposes land swaps ahead of Alaska summit with Putin. Vantage with Park Sharma with Putin. Okay, so that means Trump is gonna, all right. The description says Donald Trump slipped up twice in his press conference saying he was going to Russia instead of Alaska to meet Vladimir Putin. Though Trump displayed his hopes from the meeting, he floated the idea of land swaps as a possible tactic to end the war. Wow. What should I expect from this showdown in Alaska? Oh, yeah. What do we expect? What are we expecting tomorrow? That's Friday. Tomorrow. This is a huge one, guys. Please let me know what your thoughts are on this video down in the comments. And if you're new here, I'm Lauren. It's a pleasure to have you. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share, subscribe so you don't miss out on more of my reactions. All right, let's get into it. Okay, find out more what it is. It can be happier less. I can be less happier than I am. You know what's cooking for us? Trump Putin meeting up on Friday. It's fast approaching. Let me know your thoughts. Can't wait for it. What are we really expecting? All right, let's get into it. I'm going to Russia. Countdown to Trump. Head of crucial meeting in Alaska. Wow. Going to Russia.
You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday.
Yeah, like, I'm going to Russia. Alaska calling. This is amazing.
The Cold War is long over, but even today, when the US and Russian presidents meet, there is excitement, there is mystery.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's because of the history, perhaps it's the offbeat venues. Or who knows, maybe it's just Western propaganda. Whatever the reason, the build-up is significant, and we are seeing that right now. President Donald Trump will meet President Vladimir Putin on Friday. The venue is an old Cold War front line, the icy American state of Alaska. It's not clear where in Alaska they will meet, but the trip itself is significant. This will be Putin's first visit to America since 2015, also the first by a Russian leader to Alaska. So lots of symbolism going around.
Yeah.
But what about
really
the agenda?
Symbolic.
Naturally, it's all about Ukraine. Trump will be pushing Putin to end the war in Ukraine, and Putin will be sticking to his concerns. This is their first meeting since the last Trump presidency, so both men will be looking to size each other up. It's equal parts policy and mind games. And Trump is not off to the best of starts. He slipped up twice in a press conference yesterday. He said he was flying to Russia instead of Alaska.
This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was. Look, let's just do this. Let's do this. It's going to be a big thing. We're going to Russia. That's going to be a big deal. What happens, happens. I'll let you know what happens. You'll be the first to know. I'll be calling the European leaders.
I guess the self-proclaimed genius is slowing down. He probably thought, what's cold, white, and far from Washington?
Okay, like, but he keeps repeating it. We're going to Russia. We're going to Russia. So really, is he going to Russia? Or does Russia simply signifies Putin? Because, yeah, Putin being the head. This is a whole lot of symbolism indeed.
Also Alaska. But gaffe aside, what is Trump's plan? What is he hoping to achieve? The US president is trying to manage expectations. He says Friday is sort of like a feel out.
this is really a feel-out meeting a little bit. And President Putin invited me to get involved. He wants to get involved. I believe he wants to get it over with. I'm going to go and see the parameters. Now, I may leave and say, good luck, and that'll be the end. I may say this is not going to be settled. And at the end of that meeting, probably in the first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal can be made.
How will you know that?
Because that's what I do. I make deals.
That's not a bad idea. The last thing you want is to oversell it. Because if the meeting falls apart, you look stupid. So underselling is the right idea. Plus, there is already a template for peace. The Kremlin outlined it in June. Ukraine must give up NATO ambitions. It must limit the size of its army. It must recognize Russian sovereignty over occupied lands. It must declare Russian as an official language. And finally, the West must remove all sanctions on Russia. These are Putin's demands. They're extreme. But then again, Russia is winning on the battlefield. Which brings us to the other side, Ukraine. They're sending out mixed signals. Some reports say Zelensky is ready to freeze the front lines, meaning Russia will keep the occupied lands. But in public, the Ukrainian president is defiant.
The answer to the Ukrainian territorial question already is in the constitution of Ukraine. No one will deviate from this, and no one will be able to. Ukrainians will not gift their land to the occupier.
Now, this has enraged Trump because the US president is proposing land swaps. Reports hint at a vague proposal. Russia will gain formal control of annexed regions, that's Crimea, Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson. In return, Ukraine will get some parts from the east, maybe a few pockets in Zaporizhia and Kherson. This is reportedly Trump's plan.
I was a little bothered by the fact that Zelensky was saying, well, I have to get constitutional approval. I mean, he's got approval to go into war and kill everybody, but he needs approval to do a land swap because there'll be some land swapping going on. I know that through Russia and through conversations with everybody to the good, for the good of Ukraine. Good stuff, not bad stuff. Also, some bad stuff for both. So there's good and there's bad. But it's very complex because you have lines that are very uneven, and there'll be some swapping, there'll be some changes in land. And
that was Trump struggling to define a land swap. But this is sounding a lot like the early 20th century, a war fought in trenches, big powers meeting in icy capitals, and presidents carving up a third country. In this case, Trump is right. Ukraine will have to make concessions. They're running low on soldiers and weapons. Meanwhile, Russia is gaining. They're advancing across the 1,000-kilometer-long front line, so Zelensky has to make a choice. Does he want to sacrifice more men in an unwinnable war, or does he want to end the suffering? Right now, Zelensky seems confused. Last week, he said Putin appeared open to peace. But now he says Russia is planning more attacks.
It seems that Russia is now more inclined to agree to a ceasefire. The pressure on them is working. Putin is definitely not preparing for a ceasefire or an end to the war. Putin is determined only to present a meeting with America as his personal victory and then continue acting exactly as before.
So which is it? Is Putin more inclined to a ceasefire, or is he not? Adding to this confusion is Europe. They too are refusing to accept the reality. Brussels has two main demands. One, they want a seat at the peace table, but Trump is keeping them out. He has not invited European leaders to Alaska on Friday. Forget Europe. He has not even invited Zelensky yet. And second, Europe wants no concessions to be made. They want to preserve all of Ukraine's land. Ideally, Zelensky would like Brussels to be at the table because they would back him up, which is also why Trump is not inviting them. He knows Europe will shoot down any concessions. Still, there is no guarantee of success. The meeting is unlikely to produce a breakthrough, but it could shape future tactics. Trump will understand where Putin stands, and Putin will understand where Trump stands. It gives both sides a chance to talk and then recalibrate. Friday cannot come soon enough.
is really way more complicated than it sounds right now. Friday really cannot come soon enough. Wow. Hmm. All right, guys, let's just hope for the best and hope for what Friday brings. So Friday we wait on. Okay, let me know your thoughts on this video right down in the comments, and I'll see you again in my next video. I remain your girl, Valerie.